Welcome, one and all, back to Bbpn. I'm your host, Cadet Tank, and yes, NATTS World Cup Qualifier Edition is here, and we have your full coverage, except for, dun dun dun, the CDT division. Yes, unfortunately, Scar's video must have been lost in the void or such mess. I don't know, but anyway, we have the other three, and it is fantabulous. Is fantabulous a word? Probably not. But to cover up for that mistake, let's go ahead and go to Panda in the MCC division.
Panda. I got broads in Atlanta. She's the lean, the family. Credit cards in the scammers. Hitting the licks in the van.
Good evening once again, Ghouls and Goblins. We're coming at you with some World Cup qualifier coverage as Nat's main is on hold. Oh well, it happens, guys. So let's take a look at our wonderful MCC division, who's playing, what they got, and see what's going on. So match day 2 finished up last night, and it's the first chance we've got to actually do a video. We've got some interesting coaches in the MCC division. So let's take a peek. We got Steeler Daddy with Undead. Guard Mighty Blow already. So that's a good couple games right off the bat. This guy's got, he's got all 3 ghouls. He must have 4 ghouls. 3 ghouls, who knows? Alright. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 3 ghouls. 3 rerolls, 2 fan factor. Steeler Daddy's team's looking nice. He got the early Mighty Blow. I might have taken tackle, but I guess we'll have to see how the other divisions look up, or even guard on the white. I mean, I'm not sure, but yep. Sancho with Skaven at 10:30. He's got a Raj Runner. Looks like he went for that 3 reroll Depot build just to start off. And that's it. I don't necessarily like this build. It's definitely safer. But I like to have all 4 gutters starting off as their Skaven, and they are basically the whole reason to play Skaven. So, yeah. Sancho looking good. Luke with the Darks. Oh, look at that. AG up already. That's going to be nasty, especially on the runner. He gets blitzed. Short pass, he's still going to be 82, 83% in 1 tackle zone, plus he's got a blodge blitzer already. So, his team, he got the Apoth first. He's going to be saving for the 3rd reroll. He's got those are decent first levels. I like those. So, good job, Luke. Arcade Blaze with the Amazons. Let's see. We got the thrower. Minus AG, so she's probably going to be fired. And that's it. He got 1 level. So he's got a blodge line woman to pair up nicely with the blitzers. So, yeah, I might have taken tackle on Steeler Daddy's white, especially with if there's Amazons in the division. And Dark Elves and Skaven. Mighty Blow is nice, but tackle really does work against dodgy teams like this, and even your other fellow undeads with their ghouls. So we have the Zector Man coming in Necro at 1100. Got guard on a white first. That is wonderful. I'd like to see this other one at least halfway attempt to pass and pick up tackle, but the guard is very critical, especially with these frenzy werewolves, and making sure they get to do their job. He's on the cusp of leveling several players, so he may have only got the 1 level, but he's got 3 rerolls. He picked up an extra fan factor, looks like, and he went the flesh golem route, so he's going to be in it to punch it. So yeah, looks good. Bamboozler / Zector Man. Get some levels on here. You're super close. You can probably level 3 players in your next game. So yeah, that'll be nice. Superfed TV with the Pro Elves. He lost one, but he now has his Blodge Nerfs of Skill Catcher, Nerfs of Skill Catcher, and Blodge Blitzer with Sidestep. 3 rerolls on the Apothecary already, so he's looking good. Loner Elves are great out of the box, and he still has the Thrower. So that'll do it, man. That's solid. I'm looking forward. I definitely expect to see him make the first cutoff, but we'll see what happens. Maybe someone will pick up some tackle and put the herd on him. Orcs with a Dapo. Mighty Blow Blitzer. Super straight lineup. He skipped the Orc Thrower, which is usually the piece you're going to cut. You don't see a lot of troll builds right off the bat. 4 rerolls is heavy. He might be going for like guard on the Black Orcs first instead of block, so maybe the 4 rerolls make sense, but I don't like it this early. I definitely think 3 is an appropriate number, as it would have saved you 60k off your TV, and there's already some bloat going around. But yeah, super standard Orc build, and see what he does with it. The Federation, newcomer to NATTS, with Passarella, the Lizards. Oh, did that boy get beat up? AV bust, strength bust. Oh, alright, I gotta stop. These are not named. There's no team theme here. I'm upset, Fed. You need to fix this when you come to NATTS main. You theme this team and you play it. You play it nice. So he's got Apo. 3 rerolls is great. This is not. These are some beatdown Sorai. It's not going to look good for his next game either. As... Sorry, I didn't mean to click on that, but that's 3 more Skinks. So he's going to have 2 Sauruses. He didn't opt to go with the 2 reroll build. 2 Sauruses and the rest Skinks, and Loner Skinks too. So this is gonna suck. He's gonna have to keep it together, but the next game's gonna suck. There's no way around it. And that Strength 3 Saurus is probably gonna be fired, which sucks. He also aided in BP. Man, that's a rough start, Feed. Number Wang, Die Casual, Episode 3. Spoiler alert, and look at that. Look, he themed it. This is acceptable. So he picked up guard on the white first. AG4 Ghoul will be doing work. That is a very nice level up. AG1 Zombie doesn't matter. Yeah, this is good. This is really nice. I like this. Granted, Zombie's out. Zombie gets hurt. That's what they do. They take the hits so everybody else doesn't have to. I like guard here. I might have taken tackle as a first pickup, like I've said a whole bunch. With the amount of dodge just built into this division, I think tackle's going to get more play right away. But it is what it is. Some people like guard first. Oh, scratch that. Panda's too tired, and he just noticed it's a mummy. So guard is totally the right choice there. Yeah, so go sit in your corner, Panda. Shun, you're bad. Thank you. Team looks good, Number Wang. You know what you're doing, apparently. I've lost my mind. So, go ahead, Peg. Pegleg Pete. He is a NATTS regular, off and on. He also runs another league on the side. And he kind of just chills out with us. He's a pretty decent guy. So, we're looking at his team here. He's got all the warriors, the beasts, 2 rerolls. Pretty straightforward build. The Rod are picking up block and being 10 points already. Like, that's not good. The Rodder's basically hogging all the points, and he needs to spread these around, especially on the Prestigore. Like, he needs to get the Prestige going, and he definitely needs something on the Warriors. The beast kind of stands there like a roadblock, so we're not too worried. Like, once he levels up and gets guard or whatever, that's fine, but his main point is not to beat on people, it's to tie up players. Nurgle in this division is going to be tough to deal with. Lots of disturbing presence. The tentacles, it's going to be rough. So, let's see what you're doing, Peg. Team looks nice. I like it. 2 reroll build is always, I think, the way to go. You have to get the beast early, and you have to get all these guys going. So, good luck in the future. Let's take a look at the match day 3. Putrid Pansies versus the Dead Skins. I am going to give it to the Deadskis due to the lack of points over here. Nurgle is missing some skill ups. Just no bueno, guys. So Edge is going to go to the Deadskis. Naturally Talented versus the Blodgezons. I think I'm going to give it to the Amazons. They have the block they need. They're going to start stepping up to these elves, and they can put the hurt on. I mean, they're both 87, so I guess it technically could go either way, but I think the Amazons are going to stay up longer, and they're going to put the hurt on the elves. Devil card deck versus Quebec City Nats clubs. I think Daffo is going to come out on top. Barely, very small margin here. I think he's going to come out. Just is what it is. Sorry, guys. Five goes ham versus Passarella. I'm going to take the Skaven. Just because it's early, and I think they're going to be able to step it up. Put some pressure on. Well, unless they get hurt. I mean, if the rolls go the other way, Skavens get removed. I think Passarello can win out, but I definitely think, as it stands now, the Skaven are equipped to take that. Bats Out of Hell versus Die Casual Episode 3. Now, this one's going to be interesting. I'm going to go with Number Wang, so Die Casual. So, the Deadskis versus Nurgle. Yep. Sorry, just thinking out loud. It's been a long day, guys. Long day. No sponsorship checks came in yet, and I'm blaming Scum. He's probably pocketing them. So, match day 4. Putrid Pansies versus Devil Card deck. I'm going to give the edge to Nurgle. I think they're going to get going. I know Pegleg's a solid coach. Which isn't to say his opponent isn't, but I think Peg's going to take this one. This one also, the next one, Five Goes Ham versus Bare Naked Bladies. But the same reasoning kind of stands against the Elven Union. The Elven Union is a little more equipped to deal with this than the Skaven are at this point, and I think the Amazons are going to put the hurt on the Skaven, especially if they pick up tackle in the match day 3 match. Bats Out of Hell versus Deadskis. We'll take the triple Ds just because that's fun to say. I think that'll be an interesting match, but advantage I think goes to the triple Ds. Number Wang versus Naturally Talented. So this one I don't want to predict per se because it's definitely going to come down to the dice. Like if the Mighty Blow gets going, then that the elves aren't going to have a leg to stand on, and they can. Number One can definitely take this going. Take care of it. On the alternative hand, they will get ran around on by the pro elves. So I don't want to call it, but I think Naturally Talented will come out on top, assuming the dice rolls are just even. Obviously, once they get slanted one way or another, they can skew the match. But I think as it stands, naturally talented will come out on top. And then Passarella versus Quebec City Nats clubs. I'm going to give the edge to Daffo here, especially if he can get something going over the next 2 match days. I think he'll be equipped to handle this. So, with that said, we'll take a quick peek at the leaderboard, and that's it. So you have Superfed in first place. Steeler Daddy with his Undead coming in second. So you'll notice this. Look at this. All wins and draws. First 4 places. So top 6, I believe, go on from each division. And you've already got RK Blaze down there. 2 losses, but he's not out of it yet. He can definitely step it up. And yeah, that's it. So here's our board. I think we'll have a pretty clear idea of what's going on, who's possibly going to make it, even coming from match day 4. We'll have 9 to play, but I think we'll start to see some front runners emerging probably the next time Bbpn comes out. So with that, boys and girls, remember, Pandas never lose. We only win less.
Nice job, Panda. And even though Pandas only win less, hopefully they win enough to make the playoffs to compete for the World Cup qualifier ticket. Okay, now let's go over to your man, the Scum, in the loaded VGP division.
Right, lads, okay, enough of that for now. Okay, let's get on here with the Murphy's Irish Stout division, and let's show you how much excitement we actually have this year. So, World Cup qualifier, you got your 10 teams here. We're going to be taking a good look at the 10 contenders. At this point here, they've already got 2 games in their kitty, and they're going on to game number 3. So, things are already going to be starting to shake up here. So, first, let's take a quick little review of each of the teams. Right, okay, let's go and take a look at this one particular team here. Marienburg Golden Gods, your human team brought in by the mighty Cord. Let's take a look at this quick roster here. It's a human team as it's been developing here quite nicely here. As you can see, he's got quite an interesting blend, but he does have levels up going in. The catchers are starting to level up, they're surviving. The blitzers are doing the job. One's leveled up, of course. And he's even got the thrower, who's even picked up the quick block, so he's a ball carrier and drives in there. He's got a couple of linemen, 12 roster, 3 rerolls, a apothecary, 2 fan factor. He's even bagged the coach's assistant. So far, as you can see, they've been doing pretty well, including they are now at 2 wins, and they've even got their first loss. That was a hard start at the beginning, but so far, the team seems to be doing quite well, and very impressive there. So let's see, what was the rating say on that one there? Yeah, it's looking out pretty good here. So far, they are rating 4 out of 5 dead hookers, because bloody hell, that light bulb's not changing itself. Anyway, let's take a look at the next crew. Right, well, that's a hell of a way to introduce them. There we are, our Bretonian team, Fumbling Fables. Placebo has had an interesting start. As you can already see, the damage is already starting to do its tell. It's Bretonian. I must expect that. But it's a brutal start here. So let's take a look how he's designed the team. And you can start seeing where the damage has started being done. He's got down to the 3 blitzers. He's got the 4 peons. Only 2 blockers. Now he's got 3 rerolls. So it's solid. He's grabbed the apothecary because look what's been happening here. And he's right now up to about the 2 fan factor. So looking at it, you can see he started off it seemed to be fairly well, but it's just not quite coming together here. But that said, 2 draws, 1 loss. It's not a total disaster as of yet. And he can still definitely recover. He's got the 1 blitzer skilled up here. The rest of the team, they're slowly starting to get skill points. The trick is he's got to survive and get on further. That's going to be an interesting challenge as things get tougher and tougher. Team rating, let's face it, it's 3 out of 5 turnips. Okay, let's get on with the next one. Right, okay, yeah, we got the fanfare, God save the Queen and all that. Someone's got to save her, let's face it, see what a family does. Anyway, come on, here we go. As Kallisti football, Kallisti scoring and everything that's so great about this sport. Oh, he brought in the Skaven. He's got a need for speed. Well, he's got a need for scoring anyway. Let's look how the team's been sheltering up. He's been battered. Of course, this team's getting pretty battered, but once again, in true Kallisti style, he's skilling like you wouldn't believe. You can see here, 4 gutter runners. Already, he's changing up his strategy there. Look, multi-heads over here. He's got the big hand here. So this is the ultimate ball hog team. The line rats, well, they're getting pretty smeared. The storm vermin have survived. They're getting the odd skill. He's got the thrower. The thrower's out to get in there with the business. He's got block. And you can see the rest of the rats, well, the casualties are going on. No rat ogre, of course, because for some reason your league just doesn't like the Roger. 3 team rerolls. He's got the apothecary, of course, fan factor here. Looking at it there. Here's his stats. He's got a win, he's got a loss, but he's not out of it. There's a lot this team can actually do, and we expect good, proud things from this team. Basically, the rating for this team here is 9 out of 10 slices of cheese. Okay, carrying on. Okay, let's see what we got to say about this one here. Now, Telegraph have come in, Chorf team, and they've got a great coach behind them, but something's just not quite right in the first 2 games. Or maybe it's just Nuffle having their way with them, trying to make it a challenge. Maybe it's not too bad. Let's look how he built the team here. He's got both Built Centaurs to start off with. He's only got 5 of the Chaos Dwarves. But that's alright, because how he stacked it is, he's got the 4 Hobgoblins, one's a little banged up, of course, 30 player. And you can see here, he hasn't skilled anything up, but when the time comes, that would be great. And this one here, he's still working on here. 3 team rerolls. This is why he went this way, because he's going in heavy with the rerolls. He's got the Apothecary. But the statistics aren't reflecting what a Chorf team can really do. 2 losses. It's been already one of those in 2 seasons. We'll comment on how the matchups have gone here. And Chorfs can do wonderful things. It's a good team. It's good and solid. It's just had a really rough start. But you know what? That's alright. The Chorfs can do wonders as the events go on. And they get the tall hat seal of approval. Right, let's take a look at who's next. Alright, this one's a bit of a tricky one, isn't it? Okay, come on. There you go. Alright. Stone Under, an Underworld team. Now, Underworld teams, you're still all in this league trying to get a handle on. Underworld has crawled up from being a Tier 3 team up into definitely belonging in Tier 2, and some have even argued maybe even higher. So let's go take a look at how his team's developing here. He's got the 2 Skaven blitzers in here. He's got the 2 throwers. You can see he's turned them into ball carriers. One's gotten a wee bit banged up, taking a wee check on the poor lad. It's a niggling injury, so that's going to come back to haunt him probably. And meanwhile, there he goes. 2 linemen, because, well, you need to have 2 Skaven linemen. The Warp Troll's doing its job, but doesn't seem to be actually hurting anything. And, of course, he's got a stack of Gorbos. But it's 13 players. It's good. 3 rerolls. That's solid. He's got the Apothecary. 3 fan factor. How he's performing so far in the division is 1 win, 1 draw. This team, he's finding different ways to completely mess up his opponents and go in there. So, how long's the team going to hold out? Well, that's a really tough question. But so far, it's a promising start. They had a good surprise, good first win, and maybe nothing will bless them. Right now, it looks like their rating now going in there is 3 out of 5 barrels of toxic waste. And let's go on and take a look at the next one. Okay, right, here we go. You got to have a wee bit of the fun here, don't you? JoJo's Bloody Adventure. What, he thinks he's the only one who knows the reference. Some of us do know. And I've a bit of a Toku on the side. So, Pro Elf team. And I love the cards. It reminds me of the classic RVB. Yeah, he's going to have to look that one up. So, let's take a look at how the team's actually doing here. Let's pop it in. And we can see here, it's a brilliant development of how a Pro Elf team's supposed to go. He's got the blitzes, they're slowly skilling up. They've survived, they're doing their job, as we can see by their crazy games. The catchers, of course, now he's got the wrestle in here, because he's starting to get pretty surgical going. He's not going to wait for the ball to fall, he's going to go get it himself. The thrower, it's a bit of a disappointment. He's only got the one completion in there, and of course, the linemen doing their duty. 2 rerolls, Apothecary, he's only got 1 fan factor. Seeing how he's doing here, 1 win, 1 loss. It's a bit of a disappointment, but you know, it's still 1 win. How can the team do? They can probably do pretty exceptional, and that wouldn't be any surprise in there. Anyway, as we all know, he's got Jotaro's absolute seal of approval. Anyway, let's take a look at who the next one is. Alright, well, he's doing it pretty casual, this team, isn't he? So, here we are, typical Lizards. It's one of the 2 Lizard teams. I was surprised to see a second one came out in this division, but that's how the draws work. And Cadets trying to march these ones on, and, well, you can already see they're developing. But once you start looking at the team roster, you can start realising he's paying for it the whole bloody way. Now, let's take a look at what's going on here. As you can notice, where's the Croxor? Okay, that's going to be an interesting discussion there. But here he is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's got the 6 sources, and you can see he's taken a wee bit of a pounding getting to this point here. This one here, he's got the niggling injury. He's got the second one here. Come on, load it on up. And look what he's got, pinched nerve in this next game. He's looking pretty grim for his next match here. Now, admittedly, he's got the skink, he's got the strength up, and that's not a bad thing, because now he can actually do a couple of wonders. Stunty with a strength up, that's not bad at all. If he ever gets the second one, this lad gets really scary. 3 rerolls, he's got an Apothecary, a 4 fan factor at this point, assistant, and of course he's got the cheerleader. Well, someone's got to cheer him on anyway, that's who's paying for it. 1 win, 1 draw, but as noted, he's taking the damage getting there. Can he keep the pace up? Well, that's a real question, isn't it? But we're certainly going to be enjoying watching how he goes. He gets the 4 out of 5 VG's credit cards, and we'll see how well he does coming up next. Alright, everyone's favourite, it's the green lads, it's the Orcs, me lads in green, but they're having a rough day of it, aren't they? King of Diamonds, here they are, marching in to do the business, but the business seems to be doing them, as the last cast showed. Good lord, that was bloody brutal. Let's take a look, what is the survivors? He's now back to 4 Black Orcs, he's got another one still out again. From that one, fractured leg, he's going to take a while. Well, don't worry, they can stitch that back on. And you can see here, 4 blitzes, but anyone who watched the cast going, one of those is a brand new, fresh replacement. He's got the thrower, look, he needs it, okay? He needs the thrower, because he's going to have to start changing up what he's doing. And he's only got the 1 lineman left. Yeah, that's right, he's short of play, and he's going to be short another one. 3 rerolls. He started off strong with rerolls. He's going to need this, but he can't afford to buy it. He keeps having to replace players. The 1 fan factor, take a look. This is a grim start, a draw and a loss. But Orcs can do it. We all know Orcs can do it, and we know this coach can do it. He's done it before, he'll do it again. He basically gets the 2 sets of ass kickers, because that's what he's going to do to get himself back up in this division. Right, who's next? Yeah, it is. It's the team that drives you so nuts, and it's why in tournaments they're rated as Tier 1. It's the Amazons voting those out in 2018. You gotta love he's owning this. Okay, so let's see what the dear ladies are doing. It's your typical setup there. They've got the 4 blodgers to start the blitzers that just do the business all the bloody time. And it's pretty staggering, isn't it, what these ladies can do. And you can see he's got the 2 catches and a whole bunch of linemen. Notice he's got no thrower at this moment. Of course, then again, the thrower doesn't start with sure hands, so it's a question mark whether you actually want to get it or not. Later on, he might just get it because, well, reasons. But at the moment, he's not so worried about that. 3 rerolls, good and solid. He's got the apothecaries, 2 fan factor. As you can see, the team's doing the business. 1 win, 1 draw. It's not perfect, but it's doing its job. And you can see solidly, he's already grabbed a tackle. He's got the money blow. It's like he's turning into a kill team. Well, they get glued into the ground door. Again and again, Amazons prove to be one of the toughest starting teams because if they don't run into certain things, and let's face it, in this division, there's only the one team to worry about, and I think they've already gone past. So it's going to be an interesting run. The excitement, the thrills, but it might all come crashing down when you at least expect it. So they get a rating of 4 out of 5 lines of cocaine. Okay. No, it's not mine. Carrying on. Sorry, couldn't resist. It's what happens when he comes back. Anyway, there you go. The returning World Cup champion back in the league. And of course, he's dragging in, yes, his favourite team, the Lizards, because let's face it, he loves his team. And it's not a bad team. In fact, as I've said time before, look, we had enough of you. Back off, bugger, you stupid Rick. Anyway, let's go in. Here we go. The team got off to a shocking start, but what do you do when you get nuffled? Well, you just carry on. That's what champions do. And it's exactly what they've done. There's the Crocsauce, and he has gone with it there. And you can see here, he's got the 3 sources. He's finally starting the great levels up. He's already got 1 with the block, so he's happy with that. And he's got the 4 key sources. He's keeping it tight and solid. Just the 11 players. He's up to the 2 rerolls. No apothecary yet. But he's probably going to do that as his next real purchase. He really is looking at that going, look, he's got to start protecting the skilled players, and that's the plan. Only 1 fan factor, and of course we can see by the statistics here, how's his record? Well, he's finally got his solid win, and of course he's got his 1 solid loss. Well, that's what happens. And we'll see how he does. Lizards, he knows the business, he knows what to do, they know how to go running around, and of course in their solid rating, 9 out of 10 Gucci's. Okay, so that wraps it up. Let's see how the teams have actually been doing. Alright, so let's go back into the Murphy's division and take a look what's going on here. So, after the first 2 rounds, there already 1 team has started in the 3rd round. Top of the division there, the humans are somehow finding a way to start marching along because it's become quite the scrum. Amazons are following in closely behind, followed by a surprising Lizard team here. But they are a very credible team, as you can see. The Underworld team, hot off their surprise first round win. They're trying to keep stuck in, and they might make a run of it. But it's all going to come down to who they run into in the next few games. As you can see here, the defending champion here, right solid in the pack. That's fine. All he's concerned about is advancing the next round. He doesn't necessarily have to win. Of course, Kallisti is doing his Kallisti style of scoring. He'll do better. I've got my faith in that. And then here's where we start getting to the surprises here. The Elven Union. Right tearing after them. I expect high things from this team. It's not going to stay down here. The Bretonians. You're off to a bad start, lad. It happens. You can rally back because it's not over until the fat Aveling dies. Meanwhile, the Orcs. Big surprise sitting down here at the bottom. They've got a long road of recovery to happen. what they can count on is that the casualty creep is going to start hitting all the top teams, and that's where they might slowly but surely climb the way up. Look, your goal here now, lad, is not to win the division, just get into the top 6. And right here, this is the real big surprise here. The Chorfs, of all things, you would have put high bets on them to be near up here. They're here, and you watch the games, and you realise Nuffle's really having a pissing laugh at them. But, you know, they can recover. The team's solidly built. He's not taking anything crippling like other teams have. Things can happen and things can move around. So let's take a look at the upcoming score. You can see here the first round, Down Under, the big upset, 2-1. Dilgraf loses 1 here to the Pro Elves. You can see the Lord's Decay run into your typical Lizards, and the Lizards actually managed to outrun the Bastards. Meanwhile here, Fumbling Fables, King of Diamonds, Ultimate Futility, but a great game nonetheless. And of course, Mosaida 2018 stunned Merriberg, but that was the first time and only time they hope to be stunned all bloody season. Second round, of course, you can see very pretty dinosaurs. There they go. They did the business. Crippling game. Watch the cast. It's crazy just how the bad dice are for blocking, but Armored Break's completely different. And then, of course, typical Lizards and the Amazons, stalemate, 1-1. Crazy game there, but showing the strength of the Amazons right at the beginning. Meanwhile, Merberg, they've come marching forward. The Pro Elves, they shock them with a 1-0 victory. 1-1, Down Under, Fumbling Fables. See, you can do it, lad. It's just not quite your day. And then here, the Lords of Decay, well, you got Kallisti, and that about sums it all up. Here we come, the big promise here coming up day 3. Merriberg is already taking the first one over the Bretonnians. That's huge. Amazons versus Lord of Decay. This one, how do you call this one? We know what Kallisti can do, magic, but we have seen what the Amazons can do. It's probably going to be fought out to a stalemate. Meanwhile, King of Diamonds versus Dilgraf. This is the game where Dilgraf can start marching back up the rankings because the King of Diamonds are crippled and they have to recover. Let's see what happens. I put my vote on the Chorfs. It's a tough game for the King of Diamonds to run in after the last one. Meanwhile, the typical Lizards, this Lizards team, Down Under. Look, I'm calling it here, the typical Lizards should just keep marching on strength to strength. But Down Under has been a big surprise. So you never know. They will make a tough fight of it, but I'm going to give it a call over the typical Lizards. And then here we go. This is the battle we expect here. Very pretty dinosaurs versus JoJo's Bloody Adventure. It's an early matchup. I firmly expect JoJo's Bloody Adventure to make one hell of a scrum of it, and it's gonna be a scrum. But we've seen the skill. Again, the Lizards should probably take this one, but Nuffle might have different ideas. So there you go. That is finally the fun here from the Murphy's Good Irish Stout division, and may Nuffle bless your dice.
9 out of 10 Gucci. Damn, I personally don't know which one's higher, 4 out of 5 VG credit cards or 9 out of 10 Gucci. I guess I can liquidate the VG credit cards much faster. Alright, so that was a great coverage of the VGP division. Now let's go ahead and move to Ace in the Cord division.
How's it going, people? Ace here with Bbpn, and we have a treat for you with NATTS and our continuing league being on hold, as the NATTS has gotten a ticket to the World Cup, and we do have a qualifier going on. 40 teams have entered, 4 divisions, only one will walk away though. So let's see the 10 out of the core division who are fighting to represent the NATTS in the World Cup, see how they're doing, see who's on top right this minute, and maybe see who's our favorite. So before we get to the teams, we're going to see the schedule. So, very first day, we have the All-Stars losing 2-0 to the Dynamite. Pool this losing 1-2 to the Bone Munchers. Rat Scratch Fever tying 2-2 with Finhell's Vanguard. A 0-0 draw between the Birding Machines and the Long Count. And the Cryrex Corsairs losing 2-0 to Running Wild. Day 2, we have the Long Count losing 2-1 to the All-Stars. Rat Scratch Fever picking up the win, 2-1 against Cryrex Corsairs. Pool this for tying 1-1 to Running Wild. Dynamite losing 0-1 to the Burning Machines. And Damone Munches pulling out the 1-0 draw win over Fennell's Vanguard. Now we do have 2 games played in day 3. We have Dynamite winning 3-0, or losing 3-0 to Fennell's Vanguard, and Pool This losing 1-0 to the Burning Machines. So we look at our leaderboard. We have Damone Munches, the Orcs, at number 1 with 2-0-0. High Elf and Wood Elves, Finhell and Angry Pandas, respectively, at 1-1-1 and 1-1-0. 4 is Skaven at 1-1-0. 5 Long Count Lizards, 1-1-0. Dwarf Pull This, 1-1-1 at 6. Chaos Dwarfs at 1-1-1 at 7. Dynamite the Lizards at 1-0-2. Undead and Dark Elf, All-Stars and the Corsairs at 0-0-2 each. So let's see what these teams have, how they've built, and let's see if any development has happened so far. So first up we have Damone Munches by Hog Stench. Looks like you went with standard build, 4 Black Orcs, 4 Blitzers, 3 Linemen, 3 Rerolls, Apothecary, and 2 Fan Factor. And we already see 2 levels on the Blitzers. We do see Mighty Blow and Tackle, so he's already a decent way progressing on the Blitzers. 1 with 0 SSP still, but this is what's going to carry his entire team. The Black Orcs, though, being extremely slow, as always, with only 2 SSP on these Black Orcs. So he's sitting pretty early, but if you can't get these Black Orcs to start leveling up late game, it's going to be, it's going to be interesting. I'll let you know that. So, Fennell's Vanguard, the High Elves, are already a plethora of level ups. We got a lineman with Kick. He does have 4 Fan Factor. He does have the Apothecary, only 2 rerolls though. A Thrower with Strong Arm. A Blitzer with Blodge. Another Blitzer with Agility 5. And a Catcher taking Mighty Blow of all things. So his Catcher might be able to turn into a Blitzer with Catch. This Blitzer does have Blodge. A Blitzer with AG5 to do some really crazy stuff. A Thrower to just lob it. And a Kick lineman to control where it goes. But we'll see what happens with this, if he can keep them alive or if not, or if the frilly little elves start breaking. Bring Machines by Mr. Light, Chaos Dwarves, and boy, he has lost a Hobgoblin. He does have a Sure Hands Hobgoblin. No level up on the Dwarves yet. He does have a level up on a Bull Centaur with blocked break tackle, so probably turning him into a Blitzer piece. No SSP on the other one, but this dwarf is 1 SSP away, and all the other dwarves, if they get MVP, will level up, and we're probably going to see Guard, 3 Fan Factor, 1 Apothecary, 2 rerolls, pretty standard build. If he gets Guard and all that on these dwarves, he could become a very, very strong contender. Panda deciding to join in with yet another Wood Elf team, though they're a little bit squishier than his main league. He already has a lineman out. And just Broken Jaw. No big deal. Kick. AG up on the Catcher. So the Catcher is just going to run everywhere and do elf shenanigans. And those are the only levels to speak of right now, with one War Dancer getting a touchdown. The other War Dancer, though, just missed next game. So he's out of War Dancer next game, which is going to hurt. But he's shown that he's figured out to a degree how Wood Elves work, so we'll see if he can come back and, through all this injuries, make sure he keeps these players alive and maybe make it on forward. Then we got God Garrick with Garrick's Corsairs, the Dark Elves. And 2 games in, and he is having a issue. He has no level ups. He does have the 4 Blitzers, 2 rerolls, doesn't even have the Apothecary yet. No Fan Factor. 2 games in, not even a single level up on a single elf. Boy, that's rough. With 5 SSP here and a touchdown here, I'm guessing he had to be admin for 1 game. He's in a real hole already. especially with these blitzers. They need to start leveling. Good luck to you, man, but he is in a hole early in development. We got the long count clads with the lizards. So, pretty standard thing here. We have the Crocs, Saurus, and 4 Skinks. 2 rerolls, no Apothecary yet. 2 Fan Factor. I wouldn't say he's in a hole yet. He has 3 Skinks close to leveling. He does have the Crocs with a touchdown of all things. Okay. And as far as 2 SSP, this is going to be the main thing right here. If you can get these guys leveled, get them block, get them guard, etc., etc., etc. The Skinks stay alive and level up maybe once or twice. But he's shown that he's able to play so far. Probably next thing he's going to get is the Apothecary. And I'll be interested to see if he can actually get some development going on the sources. Ryzen with the dirty, filthy rats. So he does have a niggle thrower. I don't know. I'd probably replace him when possible if he doesn't level. As might as well at AV7. A niggle player is more of a liability than anything else. So 2 levels on 2 gutter runners. He has strip ball on one, block on the other. So I'm guessing this is going to be his ball hawk. This is going to be his main ball carrier for right now until these gutter runners level, and the storm vermin at 2 and 3 SSP respectively. Still the level. Probably looking for mighty blow, guard, claw, your standard killer blitzer pieces, but not bad for 2 games in. We'll see how he does going into the later stages. Pull this, the dwarves, the Dowie. And he does have 2 level ups already with 1 dwarf all the way up to 12 getting guard. He does have a runner. He took dodge with his first skill. Another runner with 2 SSP away. Both blitzers no SSP yet, but look at all this SSP he's gaining. Troll Slayer at 2. 2 other dwarves at 2. A dwarf at 5. So 1 MVP away, and he could get another guard piece. He could get a block on his runner if he gets a touchdown and or a casualty. So he's already getting a good plethora of SSP. He just needs to be careful that this guy doesn't soak it all in. 2 Fan Factor 3 rerolls. I'm surprised he doesn't have Apothecary yet, which he'll probably take soon though, just to make sure. But so far, pretty good for the dwarves. Then we got Dynamite, Risey. Already 2 sources leveling up, 1 getting to Strength 5. So he now has 2 Strength 5 pieces and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Strength 4 pieces. 1 getting block. Always nice. And they're at 10 out of 16 SSP, but they have been hoovering it all up away from all the other sources, which is going to hurt in the long run if he can't start to spread the SSP around. The Skinks, 1 MVP, 1 touchdown. So the Skinks, I mean, they're Skinks. They only need like 1 or 2 skills to be really, really good, like block if you're lucky enough to get it. But already a really good start for this source team. And finally, we have the All-Stars by Begrin, the Undead. No, 1 touchdown, 1 1 MVP, so I'm guessing he was admin for 1 game. No levels up yet. Same thing as the Dark Elves. He's going to need to start getting levels, especially on the Ghouls and Whites. And he's in a little bit of a hole development-wise already. But he's not a bad coach. He could come back, and we might see him in the long run. We might not. Good luck to you, Begrin, and I hope you can start really pouring the SSP into this team. But that is your 10 people fighting to qualify out of the core division. Some teams already getting a really good head start. Some teams kind of falling in behind. But this is Blood Bowl. You don't know how the dice will roll. And with that, I'll see you guys next time on Bbpn. This is your local heretic reminding you, spill blood for the blood god, and collect skulls for the skull throne. Until next time, I'll see you later.
Ace, the helpful place.
Another great first round coverage of the core division from our most veteran of casters, Ace Pilot. Okay, guys, that is it for BBPN. I am sorry to the CDD division. Don't worry, come hell or high water, we will get you coverage next round, even if I have to do it myself. You better pray to God I don't have to do it myself, or it's going to be amazing. Amazing. We will call it that. Okay, anyway, that's it. Let me stop wasting your time. This is Cadet Tank at BBPN, saying sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. I'll be damned if the fight for this ticket isn't going to be bloody.